Wow. Seriously. Bombshell by PG as they announced that there is a fourth dragon class. Now, in case any of you are confused by dragon class, these are basically your hunters, your sorcerers, your warriors. And now there will be a fourth. We're going to be going over all the information you need to know about this fourth dragon class later on in the video. But it is the final week of Spring Blossom season. That's right, we're in the final week of it, which means that just around the corner we have the new season for summer, which we don't know the name of, coming to us. So let's jump into today's video and talk about all the news you need to know coming up for this week in War Dragons. Now, if you are new to my channel, first of all, I want to thank you for stopping by, but don't forget to hit that subscribe button and of course hit that bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Now, on this particular video, Talk Dragon Tuesdays, we're going to be able to enter for a chance to win a $20 in-game pack every Tuesday here on my channel. Now, this week, of course, the Super Sigil chest will continue. However, after this week, they will end, and which, is a natural thing because you will no longer be able to spend Spring Blossom season sigils. So, yes, if you're new, this is your very first season to the game. I know that this is a question for people that just start out. Your sigils will not forward in to the next season. You need to spend them before this ends, or they just basically vanish. Now, this week is also the breeding event coming in, and if you're completely brand new to the game and you don't know what the breeding event is, it's an event where, once a month, they bring this thing out, it seems, where every time you breed your dragons, you will earn points towards the tokens you spend, the mystic fragments you spend, and unfortunately for any rubies you might spend to breed dragons, which I highly suggest you do not do because it's a very expensive way to do it. Now, these points will go into earning you prizes, including things like the sigils for this seasonal, dragons and goodies and stuff. So that is what the breeding event is. Now, I'm pretty excited because, yes, I got my first Harbinger last week, and then, of course, I've had to backbreed starting, I think I've got Hedron. I've got him like more than 50% of the way, so I should be able to get him finished up and work on my next one. So very excited for that. However, for those of you that are really advanced up in there in the Empyrean, we went over this last week, which is that the mythics of the Empyrean tier have been released. So you're going to be able to breed those this week if you choose to. If you want all the specifics on these dragons, be sure to go check out last week's Talk Dragon Tuesday, where I go over everything from the spell set to the looks of these dragons and even the lore on this very unique one here at the bottom. I mean, these are some very solid dragons, guys. I'm like, oh my gosh, these could totally be event dragons. That is how solid they are. Now, I don't know in comparison to other Empyrean dragons, but for me, in comparison to what I'm breeding down here, these dragons are freaking amazing. So again, if you want any information on these dragons, you can either go check out wardragons.com. They've got a blog there, or you can check out my last week's video where we go over all the details on these dragons. Now, I don't know what you guys are breeding this week, but I am super excited, super stoked. And I know some of you are probably saving back for the following season. Not me. I do not want to slow down on my breeding, just going to keep on going. Now, this Thursday and Friday on the live streams with War Dragons, you're going to be able to actually get a preview of the summer season. So be sure to tune in so you can see what is coming. And then, of course, next Tuesday, we'll go over the very specifics of these dragons. Now, this is the breaking news. The Invoker Dragon class. This is the newest fourth dragon class that PG has announced. And so basically, like I said, you have your hunter, your sorcerer, your warrior, and now we have an invoker. Now, the question is, what is an invoker? What is this dragon going to be like? Well, let's go over through the very details of this. Now, first of all, the creation of this dragon. This is basically a dragon that was made up from the hunter and the sorcerer. So if you imagine they got married and had a baby, it would be the invoker. Now, we don't have any specifics as to whether this is going to be a lineage dragon or if it's going to be something that's only to the seasons or whatever. So I don't know how the breeding will work. I don't know how that's going to work yet. So just stay tuned on that. We'll figure that out as it comes in. Now, the Invoker Dragons don't have the expected front or back legs known to all of the other classes within War Dragons. Instead, they take this more mythical look, and their wings will actually go right into their tails. So they look more serpenty than even the sorcerers. So as I say, we've got the sorcerer and the hunter basically coming together. creating this concept of an Invoker Dragon. So if you'd imagine they had a baby, this is what it looks like. Now, this doesn't mean that it is actually the baby of one, just letting you know. So basically, the sorcerers have that, HP and strength that is mid-range. And then, of course, they have a lot of the majority of their spells being put out their damage being put out by their spells. This is something that they share in common with the sorcerer. While at the same time, they have that same fire basic breath attack as a hunter. In similarity, not exactly. There's something very different about this dragon's fire, so we're going to be going over this because its ammo is extremely different. As you'll see here, these 4 dots, this is what your new ammunition fire is going to look like. So let's go through all the details on this very new specific to this dragon. So how does it work? Do you see up on the top right where the arrow is pointing? That is going to be where this will be placed. And notice that there are 4 ammo dots in total. This is a very important feature you need to understand. Also notice that the 4th one is a larger dot. It's a larger shot. And this is because this is what they are going to call the empowered shot. Now, the fire will be used from right to left, bam, 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 bam. And by using these, if you'll notice right on the right-hand side of the screen here, it will actually dissipate as it goes through. Now, once all 4 have been used, you will have to wait for it to refill before using again. The refill bar indicator will be at the center bottom of the screen, and this will help you time for whenever you might need to use it. As you'll see here in slow-mo, you could see that bar filling up from left to right, and once it's completely filled up, you know that you have your ammunition back. Now, the speed is going to depend upon the dragon itself. Now, on the top right, you'll notice that the same thing happens with the actual dots themselves. As you'll see here, a slow, gradual fill up. So that's going to fill up at the same time as that bar at the very bottom. Once they've refilled, you're going to be able to actually use them again. And then, of course, you'll have to wait for them to refill. And once again, you will use them. Now, this is what they call the tap, 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 boom method. Now, what is the tap, tap, tap? Well, the tap, tap, tap in this specific dragon is basically just going to be your standard shot. The first 3 shots will provide projectiles to the enemies at normal. But the boom, what is that empowered shot? Why does it have a special name? Well, the boom in this is going to be the final shot, which will always provide a special attack, disabling effect, or other advantages in your battle. Now, these will be specific to the dragon that you might have. It will basically be a spell. Now, let's watch this tap, 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 boom in action here. So if you'll notice in slow-mo, the first one is just your basic attack, basic attack, basic attack, and then this final one is going to be the one that puts out the empowered shot. Now, in this one, you're going to notice that it does have a skill icon on the left-hand side. This specific dragon has the Invoke Freeze passive yellow spell, which basically means that this empowered shot is going to add a freeze tower effect for 2 seconds and deal 13% of the dragon's modified HP as a bonus damage to whatever you are hitting with that empowered shot. Now, this won't be the same on every dragon. This will be specific as a spell set would be on any of your other dragons. So, of course, that's going to depend on what kind of damage it really does. Now, we'll go ahead and speed this up. You'll notice the tap, 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 boom method, and watch how quickly this one refills. Now, I'm sure you all are wondering, can you try this new dragon? Well, actually, yes. War Dragons has decided to actually take out Ryu for a temporary time and put this dragon in its place. And as the Shrine Dragon, if you will successfully defend 5 times, you can unlock this bad boy to try yourself. So be sure to take advantage of that, guys. It is only going to be through June 5th through June 18th. So not this week, but the following week. You're going to have about 2 weeks in order to play this dragon and see what this new dragon is all about. Again, we don't know all the details on this yet. So hopefully we're going to get some more details on this during the upcoming forums post on the 28th. And then, of course, this Wednesday, they're actually going to be doing a live stream talking about the Invoker, not just about this dragon, but about this dragon class. So be sure to jump in and check that out. Now, with this dragon, if you're interested in trying him out, let's go over the very little details that you might need to know about this dragon and its spell sets. Now, I'm not for sure if this is an ice dragon. I'm only guessing because of its spells. So we're going to say it's likely an Invoker ice dragon and has elemental resist, deflecting gale, cresting wave, and invoke as its spells. Now, the elemental resist, just like any other, is going to be 50% damage reduction against all elemental flax and beams. Now, the Deflecting Gale, however, which is a white 2-rage spell, will allow the dragon to dodge all incoming projectile attacks and super shots. And of course, at the same time, it's going to deal 3.5% of its modified HP as damage to any nearby towers per second for the spell's 5-second duration. Now, this spell will instantly reload the dragon's ammo resources by 100% to full, so you don't have to actually wait for that bar to refill if you're using the Deflecting Gale. It'll actually just fill it right up. However, do know that this spell will have an 8-second cooldown. Now, of course, it also is going to have the red spell called the Cresting Wave, which is a 1-rage spell. It says upon activation, Cresting Wave deals 1,500% of the dragon's attack power as damage to a target tower and restores 20% of the dragon's modified HP when cast. Now, this one only has a 4-second cooldown. So again, even though this is a new type of classification, it will have, specific colored spell sets. And I've noticed that the one thing that's very, very unique about this is not only does it have the elemental resist, but it has the 2 spells. But the big one is whenever you go into the other spell, which is the Empowered Shot spell, just like any kind of elemental resist, it's actually going to have a passive spell. This one is the Invoke Freeze. That's, as far as I know. They could make these red or white or whatever, but so far it seems like it's going to be a yellow passive spell. Now, in the Invoke Freeze on this dragon, this will be its specific Empowered Shot. It's going to, like I said before, freeze towers for 2 seconds and deal 13% of the dragon's modified HP as bonus damage. Now, when it comes to trying these dragons out, this specific dragon, when you try it as Ryu, I don't know what tier it's going to be in. They're not saying, hey, it's going to come in as, Obsidian or whatever tier you're in. For all I know, it's going to be no tier or like a modified tier compared to where you're at. I'm not really sure. So that kind of details I think we'll be able to find out when the live stream as it comes out, or even over on the forums. So be sure to stick around for that so we can find out exactly how they're going to work that situation out. Now, the Invoker class, like I said, you're going to be able to unlock it this June, on June 5th until June 18th. I think this is pretty exciting stuff. I just think it's really cool to see them adapting and changing things in the game in general. I don't know how great this dragon is going to be, if it's going to be like, whoa, in comparison to the others, or if it's going to be like, I don't know. So to me, this isn't a big news situation as whether it's good or bad. I think this is just exciting to be a frontier and learn about this new dragon. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into Zenko. I promised you guys by the last week of the season, I would have my final thoughts on Zenko. Now, I think this dragon is a situation style dragon. I like it, especially for invader bases. It does have some power on it. You put out those the vines there, and it really makes a mess of things. I really do like the fact that you can set up with this dragon and utilize those vines as well on the Trickster Toolkit if you're lucky to get them. And I really do like, at the same time, that let's say you're finishing up a base for someone, then you're able to really utilize either the Foxfire Bolt or the Death Gaze and help finish up a base as well. However, as a lone flyer, which is me, I don't tend to be the type that flies with other setup, bases and finish bases very often. When I do, it's usually with my husband or my best friend Kevin. So with that being said, I don't like this dragon as a by myself dragon. It's not like that for me. Somnus is still that dragon for me. Somnus is my mythic, even though he's not. So Zenko to me is, out of 5 stars, maybe a 3.5. And I think that he can grow to at least a 4 for me. At least a 4. And the reason I give him a 4 is because he does have some amazing potential. The problem with him is, the reason why I bring him down a little bit, is that, he's very challenging to fly. He's going to take a lot of practice on my part in order to learn him. And then, of course, with the spell, the Kitsune Mischief, I feel like even though it's only a 4-second cooldown, it just seems like a very long cooldown for this thing. And maybe it's like offset, I don't know. It just seems to be like it's a lot longer than it should be. That's just my personal opinion on that. So, should you get this dragon? If you're looking for a dragon that blows your mind, skip this dragon. It is not going to blow your mind. If you're looking for a dragon that might be something that challenges you, pushes you to learn how to fly better, especially for those of you that are comfortable with sorcerers and wanting to get more comfortable with hunters, then this might be a better dragon for you. And the reason I say that is this dragon actually has a lot of tapper spells to it, which throws me off. It has a lot of hunter style spells, and it makes me wonder if this dragon, the way it is kind of what the Invoker is kind of like. You know what I mean? So yeah, I got a swipe attack with him, but all of his spell sets I'm doing taps with. And so I go into a tapping mode, and then by the time I realize I should be swiping, something's taking me down. So this dragon really will twist your brain in directions you never thought a dragon would. That's what I like about it. I like that it's a challenge, and I hope that I can get it up to a 4-star rating for myself. He's definitely not the go-to dragon for my wars, but he's definitely one that I go for to practice with, if that makes any sense. However, if you are a hunter lover, definitely don't get this dragon. Go for Ronin. However, I think Ronin is probably almost as challenging as this dragon. If you have yet to get the keys and you're going, well, should I spend the last? I've been saving all my sigils. Should I go for, which one of these particularly? You may not even want to. You may want to look more into the festive dragon, even though it doesn't give you a key. Don't expect him to be that, this mythic dragon has changed my gaming forever. I don't think that it's going to be like that. It's not going to be the sudden, amazing situation where you can take bases way larger than yourself. That's just not going to happen with this dragon. Well, I mean, it might with one or two of you. There's some people out there that are just really good with dragons. So that is my final thought on Zenko. Unfortunately, it's not a solid yes or no. It's just the way it goes, I guess. Anyways, let's jump into a featured team for this week, which is called War Enforcers. Now, if you're interested in War Enforcers, they are an adult family, and they said they get about 650 tokens a day from Atlas, and they're currently trying to replace the Malts and then push right back into to the Sapphire League. So if you're looking for a team that might be, upper platinum, pushing into Sapphire, and looks like a decent amount of egg tokens every day from their Atlas side, then be sure to reach out to them so that you can join their team. I do know at least one player on that team, and they are really down to earth and really cool to talk to. So I think that pretty much anybody could be happy with them. Now, if your team would like to be considered, guys, this has not gone away. I just only post if I get a message. So this is up to you. If you want your team to be featured as a team of the week on my channel, it's not like a contest. But if you want yours to be featured, then be sure to send me your information. Not only am I going to feature your team with any posted information you give me, but I'm going to make your team a logo as well. So every time you've seen a team post up with their little logo, that is what I'm making for them. It's a nice little added benefit, I think. So I hope, War Enforcers, I hope you really like the little logo that I made for you today. But again, if you want your team to be featured here on Talk Dragon Tuesday as the featured team of the week, don't forget to send me a message in line, and it's going to be the name Royal Pain Wife, as you see right here. That's my ID. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump into the giveaway for this week. Now, last week, I basically had asked everyone what you thought of the new wildfire change. I know I personally love the new wildfire change, not just because it gave me more points, but it did, of course, make my math a lot easier when I would figure out, should I do regulars? What should I do? So it was a much easier situation. Now, so last week's video, I'm going to go ahead and post that link into the comment picker. I love this site. I'm so glad I got this site given to me by a friend. Now, if we click start, we're going to be able to start randomly throwing through, and I love that it always seems to be a new person every time, and this week it's going to be Thor's Hammerhead. Now, I sure hope that it's spelled right. If it's not, be sure to message me. It's saying that Thor's Hammerhead is the winner of this week's contest, so I will send up your stuff to War Dragons very shortly. Now, this week my question is, what do you think of the Invoker class? So whenever you put this in the comment section below, don't forget to put your in-game name so I know who the winner is. And make sure you get it spelled right. But again, what do you think of the new Invoker class? Give me a comment on that so we can see exactly what you all are thinking. Anyways, guys, thanks again for joining me for another Talk Dragon Tuesday here on RPW Gaming. Again, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and show me a little love by giving me a thumbs up. Anyways, till next time, happy hunting.